Carowinds. Where do I start? Also, by the way, I know it's been a while since I've made like an actual video. I've been uploading, well, I uploaded like 2 shorts not too long ago, but I haven't really made a video on here in a minute, so. But anyways, welcome back to the channel. This is Jeff Loves Coasters. If you love coasters as much as I do, be sure to tune in because I'm gonna be talking about my Carowinds experience. But before we even get into, you know, my visit at Carowinds, be sure to like the video. Liking the video really helps put my channel out there with everyone else's, and you know, I'm really trying to grow my channel, like I always say. Also be sure to comment down below, what's your favorite ride at Carowinds? I feel like I know what a lot of people's answers are gonna be, but still in all, put down your comments because, you know, everyone's favorite roller coaster isn't the same. I'm curious to know. And like I said, if you love coasters as much as I do, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm at 177. I'm trying to get to 200. Might even try to shoot for 300 before the end of the year. I don't know. We're like halfway there somewhat. A little bit past it. And also be sure to hit that bell to get notified when I upload more videos and shorts because I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent with that. All right, so let's get into my Carowinds experience. So I flew into Charlotte on 12. So I was there from the 12th to the 15th. The first day I landed in at like 7:30, and you know, they were close to 12, so I had like pretty much all night. I ended up getting to the park around maybe like 8 o'clock ish somewhere, and again, I'm thinking the park's gonna be crowded because I mean, like I said, it's the Halloween events. Usually amusement parks, when you know they have all the Halloween events like the Fright Fest, you know, the haunt, everything, you know, it gets really busy. So I'm kind of coming in expecting the worst and not getting on really much. But come to find out, I get into the park, you know what I'm saying, I need the ID because, you know, they're doing the chaperone policy, which is fair. Didn't really work in my opinion. Get into the park, first thing I'll go for is Fury. First thing, like that's just automatic. First thing I'll go for is Fury because I've been anticipating on getting on this ride for so long. After only having Millennium Force being the only Giga coaster I've been on, I was like, I gotta get on Fury because I've heard that's the best one. Well, no, I've heard mixed opinions. I heard it's either that, Fury, or Pantherian, but for the most part, Fury takes a little bit more. So I get in line, get in Fury. There's no line at all, actually. Like, it's literally like no one there. I maybe waited like 10 minutes at most. It was actually a little bit of line past the stairs, but otherwise, I didn't wait long. So then I get on Fury and y'all, okay, I'm gonna be real. At first, I was like, I don't know if I like this better than Millennium Force, because the Millennium Force is really good, in my opinion. I think Millennium Force is top tier. It was in my top 3. So like, I don't know how I feel about Fury, but you know, it hadn't been open that long during that day because they were only open from 6 to 12. So it really didn't have time to warm up. So at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's definitely a top tier ride. I definitely loved it first ride, but again, like I said, I didn't know how I felt about it. So then after Fury, this is the point where I just started knocking out all the, you know, the coasters that aren't really so popular, just like all the rides that kind of suck. So I think I did like Ricochet. No, I did like Hurler. Hurler was Hurler. It was alright. Did Carolina Cyclone. Actually really enjoyed Carolina Cyclone. I like arrows just in general, so it was cool. Did Ricochet. Honestly, was kind of shocked. The laterals were hitting like. I was thinking with each block break, it was gonna like, you know, break like I usually see with the other ones, but no, they was letting it run through for the most part. And then I did Carolina Gold Rusher, and I went over to Flying Cobras, and then I went over to, I think actually next one that I really liked in the park was Copperhead Strike. That's the next one I did, which by the way, Copperhead Strike is, I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough, honestly, at least not nowadays. Then after I did Copperhead, I went over to Afterburn. It was in the very back of the park. That's the only ride where it's like some sort of terrain in the park. Like you have to actually walk up a hill. I don't know. That's like the only time where I felt tired was walking to Afterburn. Cause it's the only like area in the park, strangely for some reason, where it had like a hill. And Afterburn, I did Thunder Striker, or if you formerly know it as Intimidator. Yeah, I did that, and then afterwards, I pretty much, I did Vortex 2 along the way between like Ricochet and all that. And then after I got Thunder Striker done, I've pretty much did, I think, every ride that I wanted to. So then after that, I was pretty much just marathoning all the rides. Like I said, all the rides that I like. So I was just doing Fury like a couple of times. I'll show y'all a picture and a list right here of like how many times I did the rides for each night. Yeah, first day was cool. Wasn't really crowded at all. Got all the rides I wanted to get on. I didn't do park completion at Carowinds my trip because I don't really care for park completion. I'm not really gonna go out of my way to like, you know, get on all the kiddie rides, especially because by the time I've gotten there, like the lines were just super long and I didn't feel like waiting for them. So blah blah blah, Marathon Fury, and then afterwards all the other ones as well. I went I went back to the hotel. All right, so second day is when I really kicked in overdrive. So I went to go ride Fury. I saw it had a pretty nice line, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go buy the fast lane no matter how expensive it is. I'm thinking I'm paying like $150, like, you know, because I've been to Cedar Point fast lane. They got fast lane, they got fast lane plus. Fast lane plus is just overly insanely overpriced. But then I go to purchase it and it was only $75, y'all. $75, and it was one tier. That $175 you can get on every ride in the park. So I was very ecstatic about that. Yeah, so I got the fast lane, and then that's when I just started marathoning the hell out of Fury for a minute, and I went over and marathon Copperhead for a minute, and then I went over and marathon Afterburn, and that marathon Thunderstriker. I was basically going around a big circle. I was just marathoning the big four. I think Fury that day, I did it. It was either 10 or 11 times. I did it quite a bit. 10 or 11 times. But yeah, Fury, I could talk about that ride all day. By this point, I knew that Fury was better than Millennium Force. Bitch, you lying. And I think I'll do like a little separate video on that, like Fury versus Millennium Force. I'm not sure. If y'all want to see that, like the video, comment down below, whatever. But yeah, by this point, I knew Fury was top 3. I had to bump Millennium down just one. Fury took its spot, unfortunately, but Fury is just that good. Like, I've never gotten such strong airtime on a B&M. I was getting sideways airtime. I was getting, you know, ejected airtime.
What in fuck's name are you doing?
And, you know, I was just getting all types of airtime. Like, I've never experienced anything. Well, on the being, the closest I got to it maybe was Goliath at Over Georgia when I had went in July. That was the closest, and that's a good ride as well. So like I said, I'm just going around the park, just marathoning the hell out of the big four. Like, I'm getting my rides in. Like, I'm here for 3 days. I'm gonna get as much rides as I can. Like, this is when I felt like I really kicked in my coaster enthusiast self, like, back into overdrive. Like, for a minute, I couldn't do the rides multiple times, like, not as much as I did at Carowinds. Like, I don't know what it was, but like, just something just told me, like, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. And that's what I did. Fury was amazing. Like I said, Copperhead was amazing. Afterburn, that's my favorite invert now. Marathon on my rides. I take a break. I'm getting old, y'all. I'm getting older. You know, you can't do things like you do like when you were a little teenager. You can't just be at the park all day. So I went back to the hotel for a minute, you know, ate some food, whatever, just kind of recharge myself, charge my phone, all that. And then I went back to the park, and it's about evening time, so it's starting to become nighttime. So, you know, it's time to get all the night rides now. So again, I go over to Fury, marathoning some more, because I can't get enough of Fury. Fury is just absolutely amazing, and I love it. I miss Fury so much. Like, I want to get back to Carowinds as soon as I can, because Fury alone just is absolutely top tier. But yeah, overall, I had a really good time at Carowinds. One thing that I will say, it doesn't have a charm to it, and I've heard this before. It doesn't have a charm to it. It definitely feels more like a corporate-ish kind of like Six Flags park, like kind of like Carolina charm to it. Like, if you were to just put this in the middle of nowhere, you wouldn't even know. I mean, besides like it being between the state line and them kind of making that the charm, I guess, you wouldn't even really know that it's like a South Carolina kind of park. It's just, like I said, it does feel very corporate, but it's not bad. It's still a very good park. It's a pretty beautiful park for the most part. There's some areas that could use some work, but for the most part, you know, a lot of the lands are put together. They're very well themed. I really do enjoy that. So now I kind of want to talk about a little bit of what Carowinds can do and what's missing. You can't help but think that there's just something missing when you go to Carowinds. Like, don't get me wrong, you got the big four and you got the other rides, which are cool. They're all right, but like after Fury, Copperhead, Afterburn, Thunderstrike, what the hell? I just literally voice cracked. After Thunderstriker, it's just like it's a huge fall, because you just have Carolina Cyclone, Hurler, Vortex, and all that. When I was there, I did see that the Nighthawk plot of land was empty. I mean, that's the big elephant in the room. Nighthawk is gone now. Like, and looking at the plot of land, they definitely can put a really nice sized roller coaster there. Now, as far as what, there's plenty of options. I mean, you got so many different types of roller coasters during this time. So, but for me, I would say either like a tilt coaster from Vekoma, a new gen flying coaster from Vekoma, like, you know, Fly at Fantasyland, if just make it a little bit more intense than that. And then also, I think everybody says this for every park, but a Mach Extreme Spinner. Now, I was gonna say Mach Extreme Spinner, but they already have Copperhead, and it's already like a launch coaster, and it's basically the same model type. Now, what makes it stand out from Copper is that it's spinning, but still in all, I feel like it'll be too similar. Whereas like maybe like a Vekoma flying whether like a Vekoma Fly or a Vekoma Tilt Coaster, it's just a whole completely different ride from all the other rides in the park. I would say either a tilt, flyer, or even just a dive. Like that's been the trend for Six Flags, Cedar Fairs, are these dive coasters. Whatever you think would fit in that plot the best, put it in the comments. I would love to hear it. I would say probably definitely the flyer, just because, you know, it's over water and you can have such amazing moments with like water. All right, that was just my little Carowinds experience. Like I said, I definitely enjoyed Carowinds. I definitely want to go back as soon as I can. I'll definitely try to. And if you haven't been to Carowinds, I definitely would recommend it. I thought it was a great park. I thought everybody was very great with their jobs, the operations, everything. Everybody was super nice. So yeah, 100% definitely go to Carowinds. If I had to rate my experience, I would say 10 out of 10. But yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you love coasters as much as I do. This is Jeff Loves Coasters, and I'll see you guys in the next one.